but I went to catechism for communion and confirmation. Here you can see my baptism certificate, my communion certificate, and my confirmation certificate. The learning style that I fall into is visual learner and logical mathematical learner, which means that when it's visual, I need to read, view pictures, or watch a video to learn and understand completely the subject. And logical and mathematical learner is when I use my logic and my mind to learn to understand things and solve the problems. And we took a small test about the brain I use, and on my left brain, meaning that math and science are the strongest subjects, and for me, English is my weakness. The environment I like to be is on a quiet, like a mild environment, because if it's too hot or too cold, I will start moving to get warm or to get kind of shake off the hot. I don't like to be surrounded by noise because I would get like distracted and I wouldn't get the subject. When I heard about community service I was doing the summer, I was like, dang it, reading, then community service. I was like, but I didn't regret it doing. I went to an orphanage named Dibujando una Sonrisa, translating to Drawing a Smile. Where? And the orphanage is located in Tijuana. There, I was heartbroken because the kids were poor. They didn't have what we have today, and I learned many things. And I'm proud to be who I am right now. I learned from the kids that they value everything, and I used to, but right now I'm valuing everything I have. One of the kids was named Fernando. Although he was an orphan, he didn't give up his dream of becoming a soccer player. He still practiced and everything he spent in the street. During this, the actually the sentence that the orphanage is compassionate individual, because I learned how to appreciate things more. Moving to, since I am a logical mathematical student, math is pretty easy to me, and AM was easy to me, but this year I only mastered 50 objectives, and that was half of what I mastered last year, which was 107. Because this year I was going into geometry, and it was difficult. And for AR, since I'm a visual learner, I like to read, and the type of books that I like to read more is fiction and science fiction. Two books that I recommend if you are a fiction person is The Hunger Games, which talks about a girl fighting for her life against other 23 kids. The prize is fame and wealthiness. But if you're like a type of Greek mythology fiction guy or girl, you can read the series of Percy Jackson, who talks about all the gods and demigods of the Greek mythology. The main character is a kid that is a half-blood, which means his father was a god and his mother was a mortal. I believe that both AM and AR are following the SLE of motivated learner, because I was motivated to learn on AM more stuff about geometry and about what other people discovered in the past. And I was motivated in AR to read and expand my reading skills and expand my vocabulary. Right now in AR, I try to read more genres, but I would get bored with romance and mystery. So I like a little bit more of action. This year I received 15 awards, but the one I'm most proud of is the Mater Dei Veterans Day Award, which I received from Mater Dei. The Mater Dei gives this award to two kids, a male and a female, from every school in the San Diego diocese. The kid that receives is the person who is like Christ-like and is a leader to all her students. moving towards technology. I did many technologies today, and I was somehow overwhelmed with my portfolio and different technologies. But the one I did really liked, and I was proud of it, was the battle project. My battle was the Battle of New Orleans. Some background information: the Battle of New Orleans lasted from December 1814 through January 1815. Some of the famous warriors who participated were Major General Andrew Jackson from the American side, Major General Sir Edward Buckingham, and Vice Admiral Alexander Coker. The last two were British. The battle took place in Chalmers, Louisiana, but is named after New Orleans because Chalmers was located a few miles south of New Orleans. Some historical setting was the economy of the United States was recovering from the Depression from 1807. Road transportation, steamboats, horseback riding were common types of transportation. Telegraph, letters, and were common ways to communicate. The president of that time was James Madison. We were supposed to talk about the drummer boy, what was the music influencing the soldiers, and I found out that there was one drummer boy that at the age of 14 participated in this battle. It was a free African American named Jordan Noble who participated in this battle. He was from Georgia, and at the end he participated also in the Mexican War, which was from 1846 to 1848. Some of the weapons were muskets, rifles, and pistols. Many of the soldiers that participated in this war were volunteers, but other ones were selected, and they needed to work hard and work for the nation. Some of the provisions were beans, bacon, water, and medicine. And to not lose so much time in conclusion, the battle was won by the Americans. In that war, it was ended by the Treaty of Ghent created in Belgium, but transferred to the United States. Although the 13 colonies were free from the British in 1775, still other states were trying to fight for their freedom. With this victory of the American, Andrew Jackson proved to the United States that he was capable of becoming a president. Now the SOEs. The SOEs were new for me because in my other school we didn't have them, so I needed to concentrate and follow the SOEs. I'm going to start with the Space and Individual. The assignment I chose for Space and Individual was a legend quiz. Besides being a religion quiz, I was proud of it because I got an 100, and I was professing my faith by getting 100. I was happy because I knew about my faith, what was happening during that Lenten season. And I knew what was happening when Lent happened. I knew why we celebrated and what is the reason we celebrated. For a respectful, responsible individual, I chose some battle notes that we took when the people were presenting their projects of the battles. This falls into the respectful and responsible because I was being respectful by paying attention, being quiet, not making annoying sounds that would disturb the presentation. And on the responsible side would be like turning the notes in and asking questions if I didn't understand the topic. This SOE is one of the SOEs that best describes me because I respect everyone and I always turn in my homework. For a compassionate individual, I chose the magazine Journey Scholastic, which we receive each month. Each month we talk about different things. For example, this is about the new face of America, which talks about different races, getting married and having kids. And I think this falls perfectly into compassionate because we need to be more open-minded to people getting married to different races. And I think that we should be more compassionate because our race is not one race, it's many races, so you will be like the less person and there will be the giant if you don't take openly. And for For motivated learner, I chose some science world notes, which we will get each week. The Science World magazine. We will talk about what's happening around the world and the scientific discoveries. And this issue was about the fastest roller coaster in the world. It's located in Saudi Arabia, and it has a theme of a Formula One. It falls on this motivated learner because I was motivated to learn which roller coasters were fast, which were the tallest, and which were the scariest ones. So I was motivated to learn more about roller coasters. This whole portfolio I dedicated to my paternal grandmother. She was a great woman. I only knew her for 4 years. She wasn't one of the people who chose me to God. She would always pray the rosary daily. She would help me how to protect people, how to help them, and how to be who I am right now. That will conclude my portfolio. I think the SLE that best describes me is motivated learner, because I always be motivated to learn new things and learn about knowledge and use it for the future to help my friends, family move forward.
So Luis, I remember when you walked in to my class the first time last year, and from that point on you made an impact. Quickly, the students in my class, or in our class, who have been together for a long time, turned their heads to you and looked to you as an example. So I think the words that I would describe you as consistently performing at the highest level, and your actions follow that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Just wanted to say that, just knowing that this was your second year in a Catholic school, that you did a really good job in transitioning to Catholic school, and you do emulate all the SLEs that we expect here at the school. And I can also tell from the first time I met you last year coaching the basketball team that you're a very compassionate individual, and I believe that one day you will be like the hero, like the Cesar Chavez or MLK or even Jesus. And then I'm also proud that you are a Spartan, and just want you to know that you'll always be a Spartan and be a good part of the school.
Luis, you're always a gentleman, and that's a great virtue. It's a great gift because not everybody can live it as an adolescent. And you've always achieved. You worked very hard to achieve where you are today, and I congratulate your parents as well, because I think it starts in the home. They're your